Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Kamal.
And Skeptic, did you say anything? Oh,
I'm skeptic.
Sorry.
I'm Mia.
So I missed something. Okay, guys. So we got lots to talk about tonight. We have a jam-packed night, guys. We had chaos in Congress, and we'll also be touching on JD Vance versus Obama. Obama's made his way back in the news. Of course he did, because they've been making these allegations about this shooter being deep far left and, you know, the Democrats. So, you know, he had to speak. And also, lastly, we will be touching on cancel culture. Is this MAGA's new agenda? First, Jimmy Kimmel, who's next? We'll break it down tonight. But the first clip I'm going to play, this was MTG today at Congress. If you guys are watching, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for supporting. Let's go. I called this topic Chaos in Congress because it was very chaotic this week.
I recognize Ms. Crockett for unanimous consent.
Yes, Mr. Chair, since I wasn't allowed equal time to debate, however you see It is from, it looks like Yahoo News. It says Charlie Kirk suspect's grandma says family is all MAGA.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes Miss Green from Georgia.
Is that the loudest it goes?
Yeah.
Chair, Miss Green, it's your 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can assure you that the 22-year-old man, Tyler Robinson, that murdered Charlie Kirk is not MAGA. His family may be Republican, but all of the evidence that is being presented proves that he is a far leftist, very much integrated in online groups that are linked to Antifa. He was in a relationship with a biological male, so-called furry, whatever that is transitioning to be a fake woman. He was not MAGA, not one bit. That is a complete lie, and it's an insult to every single Republican and person that identifies with those type of politics. We will not tolerate it, and that is the exact type of language that is getting many of us death threats day after day, and led to shootings on the baseball field where Steve Scalise was shot. This is what led to President Trump nearly being assassinated this past summer. This is what has led to Charlie Kirk being assassinated. And so I just want to give a warning there. We're not going to tolerate that anymore. You know, something else we're not going to tolerate is crime. On August 11th.
Jeez. Okay, so we're going to allow the ladies to go first on this one. Mia, what's your thoughts on the clip? What do you think about what she said? Do you agree with her comments? And where do you think this is going to go with Congress and this investigation?
I mean, it just sounds like people are on the river denial right now. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he comes from a Republican family, comes from a Republican area. They said he was a registered Republican. I mean, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It sounds like a lot of people are in denial about it. Obviously, there's weird people in every single group. He probably was Republican, just like his family. Most people are. However, he's a little weird. His little boyfriend or roommate or whatever is weird too. They're all mentally ill. I don't know. You can't argue with people that are mentally ill. I'm sorry. They need institutions now to put these people. That's where they need to be. They're mentally ill. That's all I got to say. Sounds like everybody's in denial.
Make solarium's great again. I'm just kidding.
For real, though.
Skeptic, I think.
Make asylums great again.
For real, though.
Solarium's the other name for it, the old school name. So, Skeptic, I think you and Mia might agree. He came from a Republican family, so it's fair for them to keep bringing this up. What's your thoughts? People are very up in arms whenever that's mentioned. What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, I do want to tell the chat if they want to help us out, they can help by liking the live and by hitting the heart in the chat, since you guys are very active and have been very active recently. I think one of the things that I took back from like more information that I read is that if there has been one thing that has been pushed on us, it is that we should come from a 2-parent household, that we should have Christianity in our homes, that we should be pro, gun, that we should be all these things. And interestingly enough, this young guy had that, and I feel like a lot of the guys that are doing that are kind of the aggressors and are going into schools and stuff have come from this type of background. So I think that it's like an interesting topic to me, knowing that this is always brought up, like coming from a single parent home is always kind of looked down on. And it's like, what can he say because he came from a conservative background? He went to a conservative school. Even the argument that he was radicalized, he went to a conservative school for 1 semester, and then he did vocational program online because it was during COVID. Like, how do you get radicalized in 1 semester? How do you get radicalized when you're going to like a VTech program and you're doing it online? So like, I think a lot of the things that are being brought up to me just don't make any sense. I almost feel like we're looking for an excuse. And I feel like the governor said it best whenever he said he prayed for 33 hours that it wasn't one of them. He was praying that it was someone from a different country. And I feel like now they're trying to find, first they also said he was a gamer and that was a problem. So like, it's almost like they're looking to see what excuse they can give him,
Yeah, no, I think you're right. That's fair enough. I think the conversation shifted once people heard it was someone from their area, from their community. The tone shifted down. But guys, all those in the chat, I see we got a lot of far right, I think far right people. You're gonna love this clip. This is Tashida Khalib or whatever her name is. I'm sorry if I said her name wrong. I have to see it on the screen. Crashing out today because I said we're gonna see balance. This is Rashida Tlaib. My bad. Here she is.
We can't be passive right now. So nobody over there should take anything we say like so personally as if we're attacking them. No, we're attacking a process, not attacking people here. And I think it's really important. We need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact. And here in DC and across the country, it is so incredibly important, Mr. Chair, that this committee does not allow rhetoric that defames and or paints Washington D.C. in a way that you all haven't really truly seen. You're just reading it. No, you're just reading it or something off of some.
Will the gentlelady yield to a question?
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Will the gentlelady
No, I
yield?
don't yield. I don't even have time. I can tell you
your time's expired.
It is expired, but
I've
Mr. Chair,
been nice.
but you all
I
live
like
here,
Mr.
and
Lee.
you're not telling people the beautiful parts that you do see in our
Mr.
nation's
Lee.
capital. And no, it's just wrong how we're
Oh,
doing.
Chairman, I think it's
Wrong.
insane that the
But you're gonna
gentlelady
look
doesn't
at
have an
American
argument, but she's going to
Washington
refer
as a
to
bunch
me
of
and some of
criminals.
my
You yield to
colleagues.
Mr.
Chair,
Donald.
We were
you
from the
know
Third
this.
Reich. This
You're
is
going to
insane.
look at
It's
14,
insane.
15-year-olds as
It's
a bunch of
insane.
criminals?
It's insane.
Oh,
Do I look like a
please.
member of the Third Reich to you, Miss Tlaib?
Please,
Is that what I
Jesus.
look like to you?
You're the one taking your voting
Is that what
card,
you think?
giving it
Is that
to
what you
somebody,
think?
giving
Is
it
that
a
what you
card.
think?
No, that's unethical.
I think it's radical and I think it's insane. And I'll respect everything that you say. But to say something like that to myself and a lot of my colleagues is way out of line. It's way out of line. It's way out of line.
Regular order,
It's
Mr.
way out of line.
Regular order.
That's okay. But it's okay, right?
That is not how it
It's
goes.
okay, right?
You hold yourself accountable before you talk about
Hold
Washington,
myself
D.C.
accountable.
Mr. Lee.
Washington,
Hold
D.C.
your
out
own
of your
self
mouth.
accountable. How
Keep
about
it out of
that?
your mouth.
Hold your own
I'm
self
trying,
accountable.
Mr.
How about that?
Free DC and make sure you
All right.
vote with your own voting card. Don't be giving it to somebody
Mr.
else.
All right. So to be clear, I want to get everybody caught up to what they're talking about. There is a controversial bill that's being talked about where they're going to lower the age that kids can be charged as adults. They're trying to lower it to as low as 14 years old. So this is very important. Doc, you are right on time for this. I'm going to let you go last since everybody else was here. So thank you for coming tonight. Kamal, what do you think about this screaming match and what's your thoughts on this bill that they're proposing?
So first of all, I love the screaming in politics. I guess TikTok bleed into every aspect of life now. You feel me? Second, was she was against the bill, right? She was against the bill.
She's against the bill because what community do you think this is going to primarily target? And I'll leave it at that. She was against the bill. Yes.
Okay. And then who?
Yes.
I couldn't tell who was arguing with her though. That was who I was getting confused.
Byron Donalds, the Republican from Florida.
Byron Donalds, for real? He was
Yes.
the one arguing with her ass?
Yes.
About a pedo bill? This is a pedo bill.
No, it's not a pedo bill. It's about children being charged as adults. They're trying to lower the age from 16 to 14.
Oh, I thought you were
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So they trying to basically make it legal to charge people at 14 instead of 16.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, that shit crazy right there. They already adultify our teenagers though, you feel me? So it's just gonna make them feel better about them. You know what I mean? Like lowering the age, I mean, they're trying to get more workers in prison at this point, and it's gonna target us. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's why I'm fucking confused. I'm like, damn, Byron Donald, but he a coon anyway. This nigga fighting for the bill that'll lower the fucking age? Like,
I mean, I don't know why you're surprised. Let me shut up.
Yeah, he a Sambo. You can say it. Go ahead. You're a damn Sambo. You feel me? Now, you know, like, damn. And that's kind of fucked up, man, to try to lower the age, just make more people criminals and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So Enzo, what do you think of that screaming match? Byron Donalds is anticipated to potentially be Republican nominee for Florida for governor. What do you think?
So, one thing that I've learned is the first person who gets loud first automatically loses. So, I mean, her getting loud for no reason because Byron Donald wanted to ask her a question, pretty out of her time. Like I watched the video. It's ridiculous. Like I said it last night. This is, and I said it just now on the podcast. I was like, this is why things are not getting done in Congress right now. This is why Trump keeps doing executive order, because everybody in Congress is doing everything but doing their fucking job. They'd rather stand out on the steps with the Epstein victims and take a month off to think about this entire situation. And now they just want to fight with each other on the floor of a committee or whatever. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that committee was for what Mariel Bowser today, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then when it comes down to this bill and everything like that, what crimes could they be when they drop it to 14? What is just like any crime altogether?
I think it's
specific.
It's specific ones. It's like murder and big capital charges. It's not any crime.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with Byron there. That should, if you're gonna commit an adult crime like that and you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in that, you should be charged as an adult, because there are cases where people under the age of 18 are being charged as adult for those type of cases already. They're already dropping the requirements for that. So to have a bill for something like that, I would agree with that. Because when I was growing up, there were plenty of kids that were committing big boy crimes that didn't get charged as adults for their crime because they were children. They were under 18.
The crimes are murder, first degree sexual abuse, first degree burglary, robbery while armed, assault with intent to commit any of these.
Oh, hey,
I'm going to agree.
Also, yeah. I didn't know those
I'm gonna agree, yeah.
like petty crimes and shit. You feel me? Like,
no, not petty crimes.
Yeah, I would agree. That's why I asked what the charges were. If it was something like petty, like theft or something, or burglary or stupid shit like that, no, like put them in juvie for a fucking couple months and let them loose and get them on the right track, not make them a career criminal for the rest of their life.
And to be clear, it's for DC. I want to be clear with that. This is for the District of Columbia. Doc, what's your thoughts on everything you heard?
They sound fucking crazy. There's no way we have all the scientific evidence in the world to say that an adult's frontal lobe isn't developed and they don't understand. And we're saying we're going to charge a 14-year-old child who has no idea what the world encompasses yet for armed robbery. Even if you say he got armed robbery, I could not shoot you, not do nothing. I could take your kids, take stuff from other kids. You want them to go to 10 years in prison, 20 years in prison for that, charged as an adult, go to jail with grown men at 14? Because that's what they're talking about. We're not talking about sending them to youth detention. We're talking about sending them to prison with grown men at 14 for a charge that I don't think a 14-year-old child can understand. You know what I mean? Do I think there should be consequences? Of course. I don't think at 14 the consequence. Now, we got case studies. If you find someone to be clinically a sociopath and you went through all the steps, that is a different argument. But a 14-year-old kid making a mistake going to adult prison with grown men, do you know what that's going to do to a 14-year-old boy? Kids make mistakes. I might not know. I walk out the door, touching something I shouldn't have touched or doing something I shouldn't have do, or I went with my friend and he did something I really wasn't completely party of. I think everybody can relate to doing that. I went with some people and we was just having a good time, but we really didn't understand it. And what we're saying is we're going to charge these children as adults. Like that's a 10, 15, 20-year prison sentence some places. So when we know that there's like scientific studies that says, hey, their brain isn't developed. Like when you get to 18 and stuff, like you've done a little bit of life, I still know your brain isn't developed, but these are children at 14. Like, there's gotta be consequences, but adult consequences isn't the answer to that.
I agree. Okay, guys. So for everybody watching in the chat, we only have 22 likes and we have over 500 people on. So please hit that like button. I'm gonna switch gears here. That was a good first topic that we covered, but now we're gonna switch gears here to JD Vance and Obama. JD Vance stepped in this week and very unprecedented way. He hosted the late Charlie Kirk show. I have that clip and I'm gonna play it. And then we'll see the response that that Obama had to him. Where is that clip? Okay, here we go.
Again on the third day. Charlie believed, as I do, that all the truth he told flowed from that fundamental principle. I really do believe that we can come together in this country. I believe we must. But unity, real unity, can be found only after climbing the mountain of truth. And there are difficult truths we must confront in our country. One truth is that 24% of self-described, quote, very liberals believe it is acceptable to be happy about the death of a political opponent, while only 3% of self-described very conservatives agree. 3% is too many, of course. Another truth is that 26% of young liberals believe political violence is sometimes justified. And only 7% of young conservatives say the same. Again, too high a number. In a country of 330 million people, you can, of course, find one person of a given political persuasion justifying this or that or almost anything. But the data is clear. People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem. If both sides have a problem, one side has a much bigger and malignant problem, and that is the truth we must be told. That problem has terrible consequences. The leader of our party, Donald J. Trump, escaped an assassin's bullet by less than an inch. Our House Majority Leader, Stephen Scalise, came within seconds of death by an assassin himself. And now, the most influential conservative activist in generations, our friend Charlie, has been murdered. This violence, it doesn't come from nowhere. Now, any political movement, violent or not violent, is a collection of forces. It's like a pyramid that stacks on top, one support on top of the other. That pyramid's got a foundation of.
So, Skeptic, what do you think about what you just heard? I mean, it sounds like he's like, I don't know, like he's the president for all of America, and I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Well, I did mention this last time that we were on live. So there's a study by Stephen Hicks. I don't know if people know who Stephen Hicks is, but also there was a like a factual sheet that basically compared political affiliations with the amount of like violent outbursts. This also, I want to say that it just included deaths. So it wasn't like protests and stuff, because I feel like when it comes to protests and riots, maybe the left may get a little more wild than the right. But when it comes to unaliving people or killing people, the right actually has more deaths under their name than the left does. And the interesting part is that this administration removed the website. So it's no longer up. And they, like, in response to the website or the page, it says information is under review. But there are academics like Stephen Hicks that used the data that they had, like the government had provided, and they themselves had a breakdown, which I need to like post, because I think it's interesting what he's saying. And the right has done this multiple times. They will kind of hyper focus on this very minute detail, and so you don't look at the overall picture. I want to say that Tulsi Gabbard did this whenever she was saying that they were going to look into Obama. Remember that? And I had said, like, her wording is so specific and it's so telling, because she's like, what they were saying was that the voting machines had been whatever, messed with. And like, that's not true. That wasn't the claim that was being made at that time. It was that Russia had intervened and they were pushing out propaganda that was beneficial to this president. And so, like, the wording that he's using when he says they celebrate violent outbursts may be true, but when we actually look at people that die, it is mostly done in the hands of a right radical person.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I mean, again, both sides have their issues. Doc, you're more in the middle like me. What do you think?
Nah, for sure. I don't trust politicians' numbers, so I'm not going to trust a conservatives' numbers the same way I wouldn't trust a Democrats' numbers. And I ain't finna come out and tell you, the skeletons in my closet. That just behoove me at all when making my point. Both sides celebrate. Both sides do it. It's kind of the American way, though. Like when we disagree with people and they go through something, people celebrate. Like whether it's right or not is a moral compass thing for you, but both sides do it. There's Democrats celebrate, but I think that's a small percentage on both sides of bad people, of people who have low morals. You know what I mean? I don't think that's complete conservatives. I don't think that's complete liberals. I think those are people of low morals. They celebrate these people in these times. So yeah, but I'm not trusting no numbers from no freaking politician. You think they're gonna come out and tell me the truth? They was lying to my mama. They ain't gonna never tell us.
So I got something for the right. I'm about to play Obama's clip, and for all of you guys wondering, we're gonna have our Enzo speak on this clip. Here we go. For everyone watching, please hit the like button. This is from Obama. I want to say it was like a couple of days ago. He was like speaking out and he was giving his opinion on Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, I was generally aware of some of his ideas. I think those ideas were wrong.
Why does Obama look old as hell? He looking like Uncle Ruckus. Old as hell.
Well, when you have marriage problems, that's what happened.
For him and his family, he's a young man with 2 small children and a wife who obviously, and a huge number of friends and supporters who cared about him. And so we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. That's not me politicizing the issue. It's making an observation about who are we as a country. I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my wife or Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power. I can say that I disagree that Martin Luther King was awful. I can disagree with some of the broader suggestions of that liberals and Democrats are promoting a conspiracy to displace whites and replace them by ushering in illegal immigrants. Those are all topics that we have to be able to discuss honestly and forthrightly, while we still insist that in that process of debate, we respect other people's right to say things that we profoundly disagree with. That's how we should approach this.
Okay, so I think it's fair to say, Enzo, that Obama is like the leader of the Democrats, well, like the strongest person that's alive right now. What do you think about what he had to say? You're muted, boo. There you go.
I think Obama just needs to sit back and go retire instead of talking on politics and talking about stuff like this. Like, stay out of the light, my friend. And the two things that he brought up, I mean, it's easily debunkable. I mean, first off, with he said Charlie Kirk said the Civil Rights Act and MLK was awful, which is completely cherry picked. He supported ending segregation, but called the 1964 Act a mistake for mandating business quotas, leading to reverse discrimination via affirmative action, echoing Barry Goldwater's federalism concerns. On MLK, critiqued his FBI ties and socialism, not the dream of equality. It's completely cherry picked what people want to bring out about Charlie Kirk in these debates. I've been hearing it all day, and I've literally looked everything up and watched the debates myself and compiled all the facts. This is why I'm going to sit here and say there is, in a way, like I wanted to come back good faith and unite with people on the left. I really did. When we're going to do shit like this and cherry pick and try to disparage somebody's name and then celebrate somebody unaliving still, I'm sorry. I'm not dealing with unreasonable. Refuse to do so. And it's absolutely disgusting that we're still doing this. You can disagree with certain points on him, but come with the fact. Don't skew shit. Don't come out without context. Give the information on how it's presented.
Kamal, what you think about Obama?
Well, I really don't give a rat's ass about that Kenyan, because he didn't do nothing for Black Americans. But look, the chat is showing us the American way. We got people on the left, people on the right, mudslinging all day in the damn chat. Y'all mudslinging on both sides. I love it. Keep it coming. Show us the American way. You feel me? You know what I mean? You asked me how I feel about Obama. That's how I feel about Obama. I mean, if you got another question for me, you want me to answer, I can answer that too. You feel me? And that's right, Big H. FBA all day. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? I do have to say.
What do you think about the both of them represent strong leaders in their party? Who was either side unifying in your take, or were they both doubling down and sticking to their side only?
You talk about JD Vance and Obama?
Right.
They're just doing what the rest of these politicians is doing. They mudslinging at each other. They are just playing to their base. Let's be fucking real. That's all I see. You know what I mean? JD Vance was basically talking out his ass just like Obama. I already said it. I don't think it ain't gonna be no damn unity. Everybody divisive. We just need to learn to be like, look, you on your side of your shit, I'm on my side. Don't step on my fucking toes. That's how I feel about everything at this point in 2025, motherfucking September 18th. All right? If you don't agree with it, I don't give a rat's ass. That's just what I see. You know what I mean? That's why I'm apolitical anyway, man. Like both sides be just mudslinging. I look at it as entertainment at this point. This shit like wrestling. It's like goddamn The Rock versus Hulk the racist Hogan. You feel me? I'm entertained at this point. You feel me? That's just how I look at it.
Mia, what do you think? Do you think either representative or leader was trying to bring America together, or both of them just like, we're doubling down, this is my side, we're not causing the problems, it's the other side?
Both of them are just, they're both doubling down and they're both blaming each other. It was highly inappropriate for JD Vance to host Charlie Kirk's show, to be on there, to point the fingers. It was highly inappropriate. I expect way better from the second highest office in the land. The fact that, like, we don't have a single elected official and former elected officials saying, hey, we cannot be killing each other. Hey, we can't be doing this. Hey, we need to try to come together because at the end of the day, we're all American. We all bleed red, but not a single mother effer in our entire elected body ever said that. And that's what is so disappointing, because at the end of the day, if you cut me, I bleed red. Nor you get cut, you bleed red. Kamal, you get cut, you bleed red. Enzo, you get cut, you bleed red. Why are we continuously with this division? Rich people don't see us as Democratic and Republic. They just see us as sheep. Because no matter what we do, they still win at the end. So people need to leave the race war behind, the left and right behind, and realize it is a class war. It is us versus them. and not a single public official said, hey, maybe we shouldn't be like this. Maybe we need to step it back a little bit. Maybe we need to come together. But no, instead they're making it worse. They want this to happen. Democrats are just as bad. Republicans are just as bad. They both want it to happen. And honestly, I expected better from Obama because I know he has world-class writers for him for his speeches. So the simple fact that he did not do better really upsets me because he is a fantastic speaker and he has very good speech writers. So I expected stupid from JD. No offense, he's from the Midwest. I expected that from him, but I mean, I expected way more from Obama, and I'm very disappointed in him personally because I know he's such a good speaker.
And just so, no, I was just gonna say, just so the chat knows, y'all keep talking like we're all woke. Only one person on here is actually on the left. Everybody else is either right or independent. So that shows how biased this country has become. And I'm not even gonna say who it is at this point because y'all are just crashing out. We don't have to double down and believe one thing just because we vote a certain way. We can believe however we want to believe. So I mean, Jesus Christ. Anyways, go ahead, Kamal.
I'm saying that's just the political way. You feel me? Even Obama mudslinging. God damn. When you know what, Mia? I'm gonna start watching South Park because they probably gonna talk about this shit. All the politicians mudslinging.
You need to. South Park is so wild. The fact that Donald Trump hasn't sued South Park yet. I mean, the episodes that are coming out are crazy.
They're good?
I mean, they're showing him having a little penis. They're showing him in bed with the literal devil. They did an entire one on the Labubus and how Labubus are demonic, and I agree with that. I mean, those Labubu things are really weird.
They had Trump and AI. Like at the end, they had him like a
it
literal
is
AI.
so bad. I
It
mean,
was crazy.
As bad as you think it gets,
sense of humor? Do that speak to
you
Trump
need to.
Humor?
You need to add on top of that, like the stuff they were with all of them. It blew my mind. I literally was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're showing this on television. I can't believe Trump hasn't sued them yet. It is crazy. It is that bad.
Speaking of that bad, JD Vance did respawn. He slung that mud, but we need to have, maybe we'll have a South Park episode. I gotta look to see if they're gonna copyright me, because maybe then I'll give Skeptic her wish and have a non-political night. Well, it'd be political, but not that bad. But here's JD Vance's response to Obama.
House is dividing the country, and you're exploiting Kirk's death to attack Democrats.
We're not exploiting Charlie Kirk's death to do anything except for achieve justice. And I think if Barack Obama, I haven't seen that comment, Jesse, but if he said that, that's absolutely disgusting. What we're trying to do is understand how young people are getting radicalized and who is funding all of these efforts at radicalization. We saw this in the summer of 2020. Now, thank God that wasn't primarily, actually over 20 people died in the riots in the summer of 2020. That is political terrorism. But it's not just the people who are killing the cops. It's not just the people who are engaging and throwing the Molotov cocktails and in the riots. Where was the money coming from? Who was organizing this violent activity? That is not going after Democrats unless, by implication, you're saying every single Democrat is involved in planning political violence. If that's true, then the problem isn't on Barack Obama's side. We're going to get to the bottom of the truth, and we're going to stop the political violence. And we're going to do it however we have to do it, of course, within the constitutional limits that Charlie loves so much.
Whew. All right. Skeptic, I'm going to let you go first. What do you think about what he said?
I think that he is inciting people to want to get angry more. And I think that this administration has shown us how not to be presidential. If there's one thing that I can say about Obama, he was criticized for having a selfie stick in his office. He was criticized for the craziest things. So I think that now looking at what this president does when he goes on these all-night Twitter, crazy rants, and the fact that we can have criticism of Obama, who helped us get out of a recession, who helped pass policies that helped our community, is wild when we don't criticize this man as much as we should for the crazy things that he does. And I'd really like to see the numbers that he has, because I feel like he's over conflating things. That's what they normally do. They take some kind of radical report and then they over conflate the numbers, because what they don't want to talk about is the numbers that radical right people are unaliving and the things that they're doing and how they are over proportionally representing violence in this country.
Wow. That's a whole lot right there. I try to separate y'all, but I'm gonna let Enzo respond. Enzo, what do you think about what JD Vance said? Like, do you agree with him? Do you think he should be trying to be more of a unifier? I mean, he is the vice president for all, nonetheless. Obama's not even anything at this point. He's retired. He's chilling.
I'm saying it straight up. I'm gonna say it as blunt as possible. I agree with everything, every single thing he said. I agree with them labeling Antifa as a domestic terrorist group. I agree with it. After the last 4 years that we had with the Biden administration, I don't agree with anything. I don't agree with anything. I don't want to, I'm not going to sit here and say that Donald Trump is not furthering a divide in this country that ironically Obama started, right? He's the one who created this divisiveness in this country since 2009. And now we're going to sit here and say, well, we need to come together with everybody on the left after 4 years of literally being persecuted just for voting for Donald Trump because of one singular day. And the Proud Boys get labeled as domestic tea group because of one day. But Antifa goes into cities for months, destroys cities. Kamala Harris sets up bail funds to get these people out of jail, but they don't get labeled as tea group. You guys are celebrating the unaliving of somebody just because they're a Republican, just because you didn't agree with them. You guys were celebrating when Donald Trump almost lost his life. You guys are celebrating when Donald Trump had an issue with his veins and saying, oh, I can't wait for the day for him to unalive. I can't wait. But we should unite with these people. We should unite with these demons. These literal fucking demons. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it straight up because I am so sick and tired of hearing, we need unity. We need to be the bigger person. We were the bigger person. We were. You want to talk about political violence? Okay, cool. We could talk about political violence. Cool. Political violence on the right will be a lot higher. Cool. But where are we celebrating when people get unalived? Where are we doxing all these people? Where are we canceling all these people except for right now? Where was that before this? Where was that before this? Because I'm pretty sure all of this started because of the Democrats. Everything that you guys have been doing, everything the left has been doing, everything these leaders. We want to talk about political violence and inciting political violence. Let's talk about Chuck Schumer. Let's talk about Joe Biden. Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi. Let's talk about all these politicians that literally said, I'm going to go take out Donald Trump, or I'm going to incite violence against this person. Where's that with the Republicans? We're the violent ones. But you guys are literally on TV for it, being hypocrites. There's no unity with the insanity. It is, like Mia said, it's a class war, right? I'm gonna retract, and I agree with you on certain points, Mia. You always say that. I do agree with you on a lot on that. But it is humanity versus insanity at this point.
Wait, can I just mention some things though? Because the Proud Boys are not a domestic tea. They're not labeled as that. That's the number one. Let's just if we're gonna get factual. And the fact that you can say, okay, yeah, maybe the right has a majority of the deaths, but at least we don't celebrate. What kind of logic are we using? And correction, they are now. Jimmy Kimmel literally got fired. We're seeing people get fired. They want to stop.
We'll talk about that when we get there. I got the data
I didn't
on that.
interrupt. I didn't interrupt.
Guys, wait, Skeptic. I have one. I have a clip. I'll let you respond after the clip. Okay, Skeptic. Yeah. You know what? Now on, when I see it's getting kind of feisty, we're gonna play this clip right here in honor of Charlie Kirk. We got to really remind everybody.
Talking, really bad stuff starts. When marriages stop talking, divorce happens. When civilizations stop talking, civil war ensues. When you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to want to commit violence against that group. What we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have reasonable disagreement where violence is not an option.
See, I'm about to play a clip for you, Skeptic. So you don't even got to go there, okay? Just hang on one second, then I'll let you respond. This is JD Vance back in February when they first came into power, okay? This is, the energy has definitely changed. Let's watch this.
Encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter what turned out to be an obvious truth. So I come here today not just with an observation, but with an offer. Just as the Biden administration seemed desperate to silence people for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff in town, and under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
Anyway, so Skeptic, I will let you respond now once we had a moment, and you can say what you want to say to that clip, and then we're gonna let Gray talk.
Okay, and I just want to say, I don't like. I am a passionate person, so this is the way that I talk. Okay, guys, this is how I am all the time. But anyways, what was I gonna say? This is what it is. The tide has turned, okay? The things that they're trying to do to me are absurd. And I think that people on the left, there's one thing that they can kind of like conclude from what's going on is that cancel culture should not be a thing. Like, if I can say one thing to the left right now is that, yeah, cancel culture, and I never spoke on cancel culture because I feel like it, like, I don't know. I don't really have like a overall thought on it. I never was, I thought it was kind of crazy. Never partook in anything like that. But I think that what the right is doing is they took cancel culture, put steroids on it, and they are now implementing it in a way that's like very authoritarian. So like, it's crazy to me that then try to turn around and say like the things that they're saying. It no longer fits because you guys are in power and you are corrupting your power. And it's crazy to then turn around and be like, you see, like, we're still the victims. You're not still the victims. You are the person that is doing the infliction on other people.
Thank you, Skeptic. I love the passion. I know we're all passionate. Shout out to Kelly Corinne, friend of the show. She sent $4.99 super chat. Come on, where's the sound effects? I need like a cheer. Or something. Like
shit, hold on. I got you. Hold on.
There you go. Perfect. Enzo, brother, you know how I feel about Dems, but the globalists are playing both sides. Only they benefit from a civil war. Clock it. Me and me have been saying this. So yes, co-founder, you're here. What do you think about what we're talking about? Have you been watching the show? What's your thoughts on JD Vance versus Obama? Who's trying to bring the country together and who's dividing it?
No, I was. Hold on. The echo?
Yeah. Do it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You kind of have an echo, but you're okay. Keep going.
I guess it's this thing around my neck. So, no, I was not watching. But what I would say is just, I don't, it's too much echo. Y'all just keep going.
Okay. Okay, guys. So we're going to now get into the main topic of the night. Everybody watching, please hit the like button. We are accepting super chats if you want your voice to be heard. Is ABC firing Jimmy Kimmel cancel culture? So we got to talk about some things. First, I would like to play the clip that has everybody up like in arms, because this is important. This is like the basis for the clip. People not have seen it, and this is the clip in its full contents.
The weekend, with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Okay.
God damn. I'm going to let the most comedic person on the panel go first. Kamal, wait, hold on. Before we get into that, wait, I got to say thank you to the super chat. Thank you, Steven. Where's the sound? Shout out to the new party. Thanks for the content and for people asking. We represent all viewpoints. Like I said in the chat, you may not know who's left and who's right, but we ain't going to give that up just yet. Go ahead, Kamal. What's your thoughts? Was that offensive? Was that funny? Was it too far? What's your thoughts?
I chuckled a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie. You know, Jimmy Kimmel ain't really funny, but damn, I was like, oh, okay, I see you, bruh. But my thing is this though, you feel me? Fire all them motherfuckers. I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. All speeches got consequences. You want to know how? I learned at a young ass age, and there's somebody got mad echo right now. Somebody got the echo chamber popping. When I was young, I learned about freedom of speech and how it can have consequences. I think I was probably around like 4 or 5. I must have cursed in that goddamn crib, and I swear my grandmother appeared out of nowhere like a fucking superhero and smacked my ass in the damn mouth. Now I was allowed to say, you feel me? Freedom of speech. I said what I said, but that consequence came out of nowhere, smacked me dead in the damn mouth. This is the same thing. It's a consequence for what you say. Both sides. You feel me? People were getting fired. You feel me? When they was talking about certain things of a certain person that didn't die of fentanyl, by the way. But when people were saying certain things, they was getting their ass canned. Now the shoe is on the other foot. You feel me? But I have a question for the panel. You feel me? How do y'all feel about people using comedy kind of to shield a lot of things? I be seeing that a lot where people be like, "Oh, it's just comedy." It seems like, you know, a lot of comedians do that shit, and I wonder how y'all feel about that. You know what I mean? Because Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian in a sense.
So I think the difference is right. A lot of comedians go up there and they're 1099. They're paid acts. They work for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle doesn't really go up there and have a boss when he goes and steps on stage. You know what I'm saying? He's booked. He works for himself. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Kimmel, he's doing a comedic like skit, but he is on someone else's, you know what I'm saying, network or whatever. I don't think there should be consequences for free speech because I think then who determines how big the consequence should be? So that's why I think you get into that type of realm. Like, how big should the consequence be? You know, when somebody hits you, you and I gonna determine how hard I hit you back. You know what I'm saying? So we should just keep our hands to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I don't get into the free speech. I think you should be able to say whatever you want to say, and the American people should realize, that's a goofy take or that's not good, and we should let you go drown yourself out by yourself somewhere, and nobody should pay you attention. But the reality is that's not gonna happen.
I also think that a fair comparison should be made. A person saying that they don't believe that immigrants are people, like comparing that to criticism to the government is a little bit different. Like, from my opinion, I think that, and let me tell you, I think that right now the people that are in power are just kind of having a jolly old time. But I think that the inverse, when it begins to happen, they're going to start crying and they're going to turn into victims, because this is what I've normally seen. And so, like, right now it's funny. Right now it's funny that the Supreme Court is kind of just delaying all of its rulings. Right now it's funny that they're trampling on people's rights, and because it's on their side. But when it happens the opposite way, which it will, because it will happen, they're going to be crying and they're going to be screaming at the top of their lungs that this is just unbearable, and how dare they cancel comedians for making jokes. Do you not remember this a couple years ago? How dare they say these things? Nobody can even, they're so sensitive.
Okay.
Well, I have a clip that explains what's going on. Then I'll let Greg go first. This is Jake Tapper explaining why they had to let him go. This is like a great explanation. Here we go.
It makes sense of the fact that late night host Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely lost his show because of comments he made Monday night in which he said that the MAGA gang was really trying hard to prove that Charlie Kirk's assassin was not one of theirs, so that they could score political points. That's what he said. Well, follow the money. In August, Nexstar, the largest owner of TV stations, local TV stations in the country, announced that they wanted to purchase their rival Tegna for more than $6 billion. Now, in order for that deal to go through, Nexstar would need the approval of the Federal Communications Commission. And in fact, they would need the FCC to lift the cap, a 39% cap that the FCC has, which is a rule that states no company can own enough TV stations to reach more than 39% of the households in the United States. And this deal going through would violate that cap. The current chair of the FCC, Brendan Carr, he earlier this year said that he would be willing to entertain lifting what he called arcane artificial limits on how many TV stations any one company can own. Okay, so that's where we are. Nexstar wanting to get the FCC's approval, the FCC commissioner making it clear that his mind is open. Today, Wednesday, the FCC commissioner goes on a podcast, a MAGA podcaster, and makes it very clear that he did not like the comments that Jimmy Kimmel made on Monday night. He calls Kimmel talentless. And then he says,
so I think, again, Disney needs to see some change here, but the individual licensed stations that are taking their content, it's time for them to step up and say, this, garbage, to the extent that that's what comes down the pipe in the future, isn't something that we think serves the needs of our local communities. But this sort of status quo is obviously not acceptable where we are.
You believe that? So he's calling on local TV stations to reject the Jimmy Kimmel show. That was posted on Twitter or X at 1:01 p.m. Wednesday. Within hours, Nexstar makes the announcement that the company's owned and partnered television stations affiliated with ABC will preempt Jimmy Kimmel because they object to recent comments made by Kimmel. And then, shortly after that, ABC television network announced that they were suspending Kimmel's show. And so, while there are no doubt people who are legitimately offended by what Kimmel said, and no doubt tensions are high and feelings are fraught, there is also a lot of money to be made. And there are also a lot of people who want to endear themselves to the FCC commissioner and President Trump.
Gray, what's your thoughts?
It came out that ABC had a meeting about Jimmy Kimmel, and they were afraid what Trump was going to do. So basically, the fear of what Trump was going to do made them fire Jimmy Kimmel. And what I feel like what we have now in society and why people call it authoritarians, because it's more so people are afraid of a person. It's not like people like care about policy or like the standard of anything. And I feel like that people can say it's both sides, but specifically for Trump, I feel like if Trump said, hey, the sky is green, it would be a large majority of people that say, yeah, the sky is green. And Ron DeSantis said this. This wasn't a freak or Democrat that said this. He was basically like, we're not following policy, we're following a person. And I think that's the issue.
Wow. People going in at you, Gray. Anyway, Enzo, what's your thoughts? What do you think about Jake Tapper's explanation? Do you stand on Jimmy Kimmel getting the bye-bye this week?
100%. It's a business decision at the end of the day. He's been losing a million viewers since 2015. Q2 alone of 2024, where'd it go? He lost from Q2 of 24 to 25. He lost 16% of his total viewers. It was a negative loss of $40 million across the year. And this year alone, his show's lost $15 million. It's a clear cut and dry to take him off the air because the show's not bringing any revenue. That goes for all the late night shows, with the exception of Gutfeld. He's the only one that is bringing in viewers and turning a profit on cable TV right now. So, I mean, sitting here trying to blame this on Trump, like, yeah, Trump probably was the last nail in the coffin, but the numbers are there. The data is there. It's a clear as dry. You run a business, you're running a business to turn a profit. You're not running a business to lose viewership and lose $40 million from a year over year. And then on as of right now, 9 months into this year, another 15. That's $55 million you lost in a year and a half. That's a stupid decision to keep that business up and running, and that person running your business, pretty much. That's the way that I'm looking at it. And let's be honest, nobody watches fucking cable TV anymore. So
I mean,
in all fairness, Enzo is not wrong. It is down. I put the numbers. Mia, what do you think about everything? Do you think this was a business decision, or was Trump in his feelings?
I think this was more of capitalism at play. So obviously Enzo referenced some numbers, but the simple fact of the matter is, yeah, you have conglomerates like ABC, NBC, but at the end of the day, it's Nexstar and Sinclair that actually show 99% of the small folks all of the TV. Those are the people that actually control the purse strings. And when they decide that they don't want Jimmy Kimmel and they say, hey, I stream directly to 250 million homes. This is not ABC. These are the syndicates. These are Sinclair and Nexstar. And they say, hey, which they are historically more conservative leaning. We know this. And they say, hey, I'm not going to stream Jimmy Kimmel anymore to 250 million homes, which they did. Obviously, ABC's like, it's not worth it because at the end of the day, Jimmy Kimmel does not have the revenue to make it worth it. 250 million potential people not seeing him, not seeing those ads, not seeing that. Honestly, it's just capitalism at this point in time. Like, it sucks. I don't necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, I'm sure in his contract, there's some fine print saying that for anything he says, he can be removed. They're not dumb. And most people sign social media contracts. Most people sign contracts of code of conduct, integrity, and morality clauses and all of their stuff. So it's one of those things where, like, it kind of is what it is. You know, skeptics always saying stand on 10 toes. Well, he stood on his 10 tippy toes and now he doesn't have a job. So, I mean, it is what it is. He can fight it out in court, but it honestly comes from the simple fact that people forget that, you know, small town people have a voice. And they didn't want to see him anymore.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this clip to remind everyone about what went down just a few years ago. I think we forget. People have been saying in the chat that a lot of conservatives were canceled. And this was probably the biggest one that lost everything.
My jokes. Yeah. Because she's the one that got me fired, you know.
Michelle?
Yeah, she's the one that called ABC and said I had to go.
Are you serious?
My
What?
racist tweet. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this public information?
I've said it.
Michelle Obama.
Bob-
She said
Bob
it. It's got to
Iger.
be true.
It is too. I'm gonna fucking smack you right across your face.
Well, I applaud you on when you're right, but when you say things like Donald Trump is still the president and there's not going to be an election,
I said
well,
he's
you
the
must
commander-in-chief.
I respect the hell out of you, but when you say things like that,
change everything.
No, I'm not changing anything.
I said commander-in-chief. Now listen. Bob Iger, who fired me, said his first phone call was to Valerie Jarrett to apologize to her, and that Michelle Obama also got on the phone with them, and that Obama called him afterward to thank him for firing me. So that's in the paper. I didn't make.
I believe you.
I didn't make it up.
That's something that sounds
It's
very
in
credible.
Iger's many interviews where he talked about it.
On the subject of terrible things posted online, the biggest story of the day today was Roseanne. Roseanne, you're not going to believe this, but she tweeted something outrageous. I know, yeah, right. The president did it too. It's crazy. Anyway, ABC decided to cancel their highest-rated show, Roseanne, following a tweet in which Roseanne compared an African-American woman, a former advisor to President Obama, to an ape, which did not sit well with ABC management or anyone with a brain, really. So they announced that this first season of the show is also its last, which is a huge blow to business. I mean, we don't have much on this network. We're hoping the NBA Finals goes 11 games this year. We're still airing America's Funniest Home Videos, okay? Roseanne was a very bigly hit for ABC, and we needed it. But I say, why just listen, hear me out. Just because Roseanne is gone doesn't mean the whole show has to go. The show must go on. That's what we say in show business. And with that said, I have an idea that I think makes this work for everyone.
America's favorite working class family is back. With all the cast members you love.
Hey, Dad. Mr. Conrad, sir. Hi. How are you doing?
Coming to ABC this fall.
Yeah, that job, turns out it fell through.
Dan. Right? I mean, come on.
With that single inflammatory tweet, Roseanne's rising star imploded today. Within hours, the highly anticipated return of one of TV's most beloved shows, Roseanne, canceled, and Roseanne Barr effectively banished from Hollywood for this racist tweet. Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. The VJ referred to is Valerie Jarrett, the former advisor to President Obama. Barr deleted the tweet and tweeted an apology to Jarrett, saying in part, "Forgive me, my joke was in bad taste." Almost no one thought it was funny. Within hours, ABC pulled the plug on the show, saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, and we've decided to cancel her show.
Roseanne who? Character from Planet of the Apes. This morning, the former top Obama advisor spoke out on The View.
In all seriousness, as I've said before, I'm fine. I am just fine. And now, if one of you said something like that about...
Oh, wow.
Skeptic, what is your thoughts, girl? You said, I will say, for someone on the, well, I don't want to say what you are because I want the chat to keep guessing. But
I think
you
they
said
know.
you don't support. Well, yeah, they probably know. You're on the left. Cat's out the back. For someone on the left, you said you don't support cancel culture. Did you support her firing at the time? What do you think?
No, I mean, I think I've always, and I'm gonna say this, like, I'll speak on this because this is kind of part of that. If there's anything, like, my family owns businesses and stuff, and we have one of like the biggest leasing, where they like lease stuff. So my biggest take from this, to be honest with you, my conclusion to this was that we should employ people in our communities so that we can make sure that we have freedoms and nobody can take them from us. Because I think that our communities get a lot of discrimination, and a lot of the time we can't speak freely. And I hate to see people from our communities like feel like they can't verbalize what they're actually feeling. Like, if there's one thing about me, I'm a true rebellious person, and I don't like to be told what to do. And I don't like that a lot of people that I've spoken to kind of feel uneasy with speaking on things that are currently happening. So and I'll say this, I don't think that you should necessary, like, if somebody said something that was racist, or if I knew that somebody was racist, I wouldn't want to hire that company. I wouldn't want to be a part of them. I'm not going to fund them. I'm not going to give my dollars to that. So I think that you have certain amounts of rights without, I don't think that you should be destroyed per se. Like, me personally, I'm not going to go out of my way to go destroy you, but I don't think that I wouldn't give you my money. I'm not going to fund you being racist, right? Because that is how we perpetuate these people to continue on to say racist things. But I'm not going to like cause you any harm. And one of the things that I think is interesting is how the right becomes experts. Anytime that this man does something, all of a sudden people on the right are experts about tariffs, and they're experts about how the network works. Like, if we're taking Roseanne's word saying that she was fired because of influence from, Michelle Obama, which I don't doubt. I think that very well could have been true and probably is true. Then how are we going to sit there and say, oh, his ratings were so terrible, blah, blah, blah. That's why he got canceled. He got canceled because there was a direct influence from this president. The Republicans are currently trying to pass a bill in which they can revoke your visas for you speaking on things that they disagree with, like you being anti, as far as them labeling you that, or you speaking on something which they can consider to be T-rism, which is up to the interpreter. It's up to them to interpret. So like, the more power that you give these people, right now it's working on certain people's behalf, and therefore they're clapping for it. And right now they're so happy, but they're not seeing the future. We have to be able to see how the retributions of this. And honestly, regardless of what side you're on, you should be able to see how dangerous this is to allow anyone to have so much power, to which we're going to give them our freedom of speech.
Okay, so skeptic, before I move to the next, hold on. Before I move to the next person, yes or no, would you have canceled her for what she said?
I wouldn't have canceled her. I wouldn't have watched her show. I wouldn't have bought any of her merchandise or anything like that. Do I think that she should lose her job and she should, be blackmailed from all the things, or blackballed or whatever? I wouldn't do that, but I would not support her.
Got it. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kamal. I was gonna call on you next, anyways.
Oh, Doc wanted to know what she tweeted, and I got it up right here. Roseanne dumb as hell though for this. Like, she said Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. And she basically talking about Michelle Obama, and they say
No,
Obama.
she wasn't talking about Michelle Obama. She was talking about Valerie Jeanette, the chick you saw in the last clip.
Yeah, VJ.
Yeah, Valerie.
VJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I keep saying it, freedom of speech. Yeah, you got that, but it's gonna be consequences no matter what. You feel me? Roseanne getting canned. That was kind of dumb to say. Like, God damn, Roseanne, you know you're gonna get your ass fired saying that shit. Especially if you come on now. Come on, you feel me? That show was fired though. You know what I mean? Also, I wanted to I haven't done this a while on this show, but lucky winner C Cow. I haven't talked to somebody in the chat in a while. Bro, you probably eat cat piss, bro. And yes, I said eat cat piss. You most definitely put it in the freezer. Wait, put some sprinkles in that bitch. And then you eat that motherfucker. Talk about Jimmy Kimmel should wear blackface. Shut your ass up. All right? And then the other person in the chat, no, I'm not single. I have me a nice foundational Black American lady. You feel me? But I love the compliments, though. Thank you. Appreciate it. You know?
Heavy on the FBA.
Yeah,
Heavy on the foundational Black. Heavy on the foundational part.
You already know. But I appreciate the compliments. You feel me? Thank you so much. And yeah, there's a couple of the rest of y'all that's in the chat. Y'all keep talking shit. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna not talk about the topic. I'm gonna be on y'all next because y'all talking out y'all ass right now. Some of y'all. The rest of y'all good. Keep talking. It's all good.
Doc, what do you think? Should Roseanne have been fired, and what do you think about the direction our country is going in with this cancel culture?
No, I don't think she should have been fired. I think she got the right to freedom of speech. I think she was fired for her freedom of speech, but because I mean Jimmy Kimmel said she had the #1 show. So I mean, if you got the #1 show, and but if I see someone with the #1 show get fired for their take on something, I might think like, yo, if I'm getting to this money in the bags, all right, I might temper what I say a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like, if they'll fire her, they'll fire me. I'm not really a fan of the cancel culture. Like, it's not my thing. I think people like, bro, like the KKK had a radio show going on. I just don't listen to it. You know what I mean? David Duke on the radio, saying whatever it is he want to say to his audience. That's not me. So I just turn to, a different channel. So, I'm not a fan of cancel culture. These people got a message. I don't like the message, but Robert Reichoff died for them to be able to spew whatever message they want to spew. So, have at it.
Well, speaking of cancel culture, there is someone who people are saying is going to be the leader of the right wing. He's the next leader. He's very young. Let's see what he had to say about cancel culture. And mind you, he was canceled after January 6th.
About that series of developments, there's been a lot of pushback. Not a ton, but there's been some significant pushback on the right. People are saying that this is right-wing cancel culture. They're saying, how are we any better than the left? They're saying, isn't that hypocritical? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I don't even think we need to argue about it at all, actually. The time for arguments is over. It's been over. You want to see the last guy that was arguing with the left? Well, you can attend his funeral on Sunday. He got shot for arguing. So I'm good. We tried debating. We tried arguing. We tried running for office. We tried governing. And what happened? Well, let's see. Trump got shot in the head, and then Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck and died. And now our own side wants to argue about the principle of the matter. They want to argue about consistency, hypocrisy. We are in a war. This is a war. This is a fight. All this talk about fairness, principles, objectivity does not apply here. It does not apply because we are fighting against an enemy that wants us dead, that wants us bankrupted, ostracized. Look at what they have done to everybody that opposes the system. Lawfare, persecution, death threats, murder attempts. This is what they do. What did they do? To the president, to Charlie Kirk, to me? I have people texting me, you shouldn't support censorship, then they'll take away our rights. My rights already got taken away.
Shout out to Lorenza Day. Come on, sound effects.
I got you, but I don't know what the fuck they talking about right there. What does it mean?
I know. Gray, what's she talking about? The education levels are leaking, DEI and party. What's that mean, Gray?
I have no idea.
Anybody know?
I'm pretty sure it's because we're all people of color, so she thinks we're probably all DEI hires on this panel.
I think it's an insult.
Oh, the only DEI is you putting your titty
0 out of 10 for creativity for the DEI because we're a panel of color. I mean, come on. I think you need to hit us with a $20 one. Go on the Google and try to get something a little bit more creative. You're showing your DEI, Lorenza. You're probably a white lady. I'm sorry you lost your job. $20 and then come back with something better.
Let's play a game. Everybody raise your hand if you have degrees. Let's raise our hand. Let's raise our hand. Keep your hand raised if you have a master's degree. Okay, so we are not DEI hires, lady. Half the chat is educated or attended college, was it served in the military? So like, let's cut it out. Actually, DEI would represent the military because white women and the military people supposedly benefited from it. So maybe she's right.
Now this person said they're black dudes though, Nora. They could be lying though. There's a lot of catfishing on these YouTube streets. So
probably, but Mia, what do you think about Nick? I know you love him. I know you're a fan. No, she's talking. So
no, it's good. I hate Nick Fuentes. Excuse my French. I can't stand that man. And it upsets me that sometimes he has spoken this year and I actually agree with him. It literally hurts my heart. I mean, he's not wrong, but I mean, I can't stand him. When he speaks, I tune him out. I can't stand Nick. Somebody else needs to go. I'm over. I fucking hate Nick Fuentes.
I'll let Greg.
What'd she say?
I think she was about to say she wanted
that you were gonna go.
Fuentes.
I feel like Nick Fuentes has his own movement as far as the far right. And he basically was benefiting off of being the conservative against conservatives. And then once Charlie Kirk died, then it's like he wants to be a part of conservatives again. So that's my take on what Nick Fuentes is doing. As far as him talking about cancel culture and the right agreeing with it, I mean, I can say, okay, yeah, Roseanne got canceled, so now the people on the left turn to get canceled. But is everybody just gonna get canceled? Like, I mean, who's gonna work these jobs? Who are we gonna watch on TV? Like, so I mean, I would rather people get canceled in the normal way, that the season is up or that the next season was trash, rather than it be based on politics.
Man, great. F all that. Let them get fucking canceled and then they could come over here and watch us. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck it. Yes.
Nothing more. If I there, like, come right over here. You know what I mean? Y'all go watch us. You feel me?
But do you think a lot of people are upset by cancel culture? Because we just Americans have a culture of lack of accountability. So many people don't want to be held accountable for the words that they say. Like, everybody knows that there are certain things you can say, certain things you can't say. If you have a job, you can't say it on social media. That's why we see so many teachers being fired, because it's like, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb, dude. It's like, how can you have a master's degree, be an educator, and say some crazy stuff online? You know you're gonna get fired for it. Like, I don't understand. Like, every single company I've worked for the last 12 years have all made me sign social media agreements and morality clauses as well. So when you say you're happy somebody died, obviously you're going to lose your job, especially if you're an educator. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, you are an educator with most of these teachers at master level. Sometimes they're PhD level professors. You know this. You know your morality clause. You read it. You may even have lawyers go over it. And still you talk shit thinking with your lack of accountability in your brain that nothing is going to happen. And I feel like it's because we've allowed people to say the craziest stuff for the longest time. Wishing kids in Texas died. All those people in North Carolina deserve what they got. And then all of a sudden now it's like, woo, accountability. Nobody wants their accountability. It's like, bro, sometimes, you know, the universe wants their pound of flesh and it's coming for you. People need to stop being stupid. Don't say it on social media.
I actually have a clip before Enzo responds. Enzo, this is a clip that somebody posted that came out from a far, I guess, a leftist group. I'm gonna play it.
Crime by putting something out like that with the crosshairs on his head, calling basically for his assassination, offering a reward for his assassination. This could be a crime. This is in Seattle. Judge.
So, Enzo, what do you think about this? What's your thoughts?
I think it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Because I've seen this all weekend. Seen this every single day since Charlie was unalived. I've seen this every single day since Trump was elected. I've seen this every single day since Trump said he was running for president. You have celebrities saying that they wanted to take out Trump. I mean, remember when Johnny Depp was like, when was the last time a celebrity took out a president? We could start there. Or like with the comments, okay, after Charlie died, okay, do JD next. Okay, do Elon next. Okay, do Candace next. Really? This is how we're gonna be. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it. These are the people that we're supposed to unite with. And I'm gonna talk on Roseanne. I mean, you fucked around and said something racially charged and she got fired for it. You have consequences for your words. I don't think that was the greatest example of like being canceled though. That was just more of things got her fired. I mean, you can't, like, you have a job. People can't be racist or say wrong things at your job. You'll get fired for it. I don't look at that as being canceled. When I look at people getting canceled over the last couple of years, let's talk about like Joe Rogan. When COVID was going on and everything like that, he was bringing up alternative methods to treat COVID instead of the vaccine that everybody was skeptical about. They pretty much shut him down, or Joe Biden coercing with social media companies. 573-page report from the House Oversight Committee that came out in December of 24, talking about them coercing and colluding with social media companies. Mark Zuckerberg coming out with his own letter stating that the Biden administration pressured them to take down anything pro-Trump or about the elections or about the COVID vaccines or anything have to do with COVID. We want to talk about rights being taken away. It's completely fine when people on the left are doing it, but when the right does it, no, this is too far. This is fascism. No, we can't have this. We're going to turn a blind eye from everything that has happened in the past. Like, come on now. Are we going to be accountable for what's going on, or are we not? Yeah, of course this is going to happen with the cancel culture. Of course this is going to happen now with everything that's going on with the right. What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to just sit here and let this shit go on and on and on? Or are we supposed to take up arms and take to the streets like the Democrats said that they wanted to? Is that how we're supposed to fight this? No. Let's give you a taste of your own medicine. And now that I'm laughing my ass off going on social media every fucking day watching this. That, oh my God, we're getting canceled because the words that we said, we're getting fired. Good. Words have consequences at the end of the day. You should be. And now we're saying, oh, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Okay, cool. What about when you guys were doing it before? This is exactly how it feels. I was somebody who was almost taken off Facebook for shit that I was saying in 2020 about Joe Biden, about COVID, about the lockdowns, about the vaccines, about January 6th and everything like that. And I was censored and almost taken off for that. I should be able to have those rights. I wasn't calling for violence against political rivals. I wasn't calling for the unaliving of anybody. I was questioning the system. You guys are taking it to the extreme. You guys have a picture of JD Vance with a target on his face. You guys are in comment sections laughing about Charlie Kirk being unalived. You have in the comment sections of other videos stating that this person should be next. This person should be next. This person should be next. Again, show me where Republicans are doing that, and I'll take accountability for it.
But I do have a clip where people were like calling it out, and they're like, "But what about this?" I'm gonna play this clip. It's Brian Kilmeade, and let's see what he had to say.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why?
Agree with that.
So this is my thing, though, because
sorry.
Hold on. Let me just say
Go
one
ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
This was my thing because prior to Charlie Kirk being unalived, and let me be clear, anybody that's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is disgusting and whatever. I believe in free speech, though. They're disgusting. They're a disgusting human being. Let's start with that. But prior to him dying, leading up to his death, people were celebrating Haitian migrants getting unalived. People were celebrating all sorts of things in the country. People were celebrating comments like this, but like now we got this energy, like we're shocked, but like keep that same energy. Because for me, the hatred is high on both sides, but you can say what you want to say, Kamal.
So Bruh said that shit, right? And so, I talked about our black brother getting hung in motherfucking, I think it was Mississippi, Cleveland, right? There's also a white dude that got hung too, right? They said he was homeless. Do you think that speech has something to do with Whiteberg getting hung because he was homeless and shit?
I mean, it's possible. People target homeless people and do a lot of crime to them. It's sick and it's disgusting. Homeless people and prostitutes are the two biggest targets in this country. And that's a fact. So, I mean, words like this, to me, is like, it's hateful. What do you think, Skeptic? I'm sure you have a lot to say about that.
Oh, wait, is it just me or did I hear someone say I agree with that? Or did I just hear that?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, well, anyways, I think that the rhetoric, see, this is the thing. There are people that kind of have mental like stability that can kind of take difficult situations and kind of dismantle them, and they know better, right? Then you have like people that kind of just follow. And they don't really think critically. They kind of can be manipulated. They're like little soldiers. And I think that when people have a platform and you can talk, the words that you use are very, very vital, right? You have to be careful what you're saying. This man, the thing that he's saying as a person on media, to just say that out loud, which I'm sure this is how he feels. Number one, is disgusting. Number two, I think that the hatred, I don't know if people understand this, but I think the overall, when we look at like hate crimes, the number one demographic of people that get targeted in hate crimes is the Black community, right? Still number one in America. And then I think after that, you start seeing where it becomes more classism, where, people that are less fortunate are seen down on. And the funny thing is that in America, the majority of people that are on like welfare are white people, numerically speaking. And so it's interesting that people that associate themselves with this racist rhetoric think that these people, these billionaires, care about them. They defunded your health care. They're taking away your food stamps. They're taking away your, housing, and you're clapping it on as if you are a billionaire. You took up for Elon Musk. You're the same people that were like, oh, clapping on Elon Musk as if he wanted the best for you. But you forget that you're not part of the group. They make you feel like you're included in their group because you're a part of them. But in reality, you're not a part of them. The one thing that we know, my community, we know we're not a part. We know they're not going to include us. We know that they're not looking out for our community. So we have to look out for ourselves. And I think that it's interesting when you hear them talk and you're like shocked by their hateful words. The hate is inside of them for everyone, even their own people. They would unalive people that are less than them if they could, to get them off the system, because they're bumming off the system, even though they pay taxes, even though we know that people on healthcare, the majority of them work. prior to this big ugly bill being passed. They don't care. Hatred is like even for everyone. They hate everyone evenly. They just hate Black and brown people more than everyone else.
Are you muted?
Muted.
Gray, what do you think?
As far as what? As far as the homeless guy? The homeless guy, I mean, like, this is crazy. I mean, like, you just gonna start randomly killing people. I mean, like, this is getting out of hand. I mean, it has to be all types of other options if we're gonna talk about actual human life, because that can go to just regular people. Like, people will use that as a system to say, okay, well, we go do this to this person. This person's homeless. So it's like the homeless situation is bad, and we always say mental health, but if we look at the actual price of housing, it's insanity. And Trump said he was going to sign an executive order for housing, and that was something that I was like, okay, finally Trump is like doing something, but he didn't do it. But maybe he will do it.
I think you're missing the point of the clip. The point of the clip was Brian Kilmeade basically said he calls for people being unalive, the homeless being unalive, and nothing happened to him. He's still working. He's still got a job. People weren't going crazy. That was the point of it. Not the that's a homeless crazy.
So you're saying he should have been canceled for saying that?
I don't know. I'm saying, what do you think about it? Do you think he should still have a job?
I think he should still have a job, because I mean, he could say, hey, this is the solution, no matter how horrific that is. I mean, like, I feel like he's a reporter, so he could have had like a scientist or a doctor or a political person say, hey, this is the solution to society. So no, I don't think a reporter should be reprimanded for saying what they feel.
They about the clip to say you don't care about the homeless, bro. That goddamn.
Right.
God damn, right.
They're gonna be fighting you now when they recognize you. They ain't gonna be like, "Hey, you're famous." They're gonna be like, "Shit, bitch, I'm homeless. You better watch out for those homeless people out front of the liquor store."
Damn.
They're gonna be fighting
okay.
you now.
So,
I
can I
got
add
one
on to that
last
real
clip.
quick?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna play your clip, Enzo, and that'll be the final clip.
Gotcha.
We can do closing thoughts. Mhm.
I don't think he should be canceled for that. I don't agree with what he said at all, that they should be just unalived for being homeless. No, I don't agree with that. He should be absolutely reprimanded and put out a public statement for that altogether, because that was just downright wrong for him to say. Like, if that's how you feel, then by all means, like, you should not be reporting on it. At the end of the day, it's Fox Entertainment, not Fox News. I mean, who really watches that bullshit? I'm somebody on the right. I don't watch. No, it's not credible. The homeless problem in America is absolutely ridiculous. Will say that, and there needs to be things to help these people out. And I will sit here and agree and say they should either be put in rehabilitation centers to get off of drugs or whatever it is, or be put in jail if they refuse to do so. I'm sorry to say that. I will agree with that. As somebody who was homeless for a period of my life, it is a choice to be homeless at the end of the day. You choose to go on drugs, you choose to be addicted to those drugs. There's nothing there is. I will always say that drugs is a choice. And there's not a mental addiction. It's not a physical addiction. You choose to put that needle in your arm. You choose to do that. You choose to be homeless by being financially illiterate. That's on you guys. It's always a choice.
Damn.
Woo. Okay, so this is the last clip, guys. Let's get the likes up, hit the like button. This is from TikTok. This is what some people were saying and why people are so outraged and why we're at this point right now. Wait, where's the sound? My bad. Let me start it over.
Bars was sent these messages because of a comment. She hope his wife and kids get fucking raped and murdered. A supporter of ours was sent these messages because of a comment she made on a Joey Swole post. Thought I was a peaceful leftist, Bitch, I'm so far left, I got my guns back, and boy do I have guns. Been hitting the range often, bullseyes at 400 yards. Can't wait for the next conservative cuck to step foot in my state. Too bad Utah got to this little crybaby bitch before me or one of my guys did. I bet he was crying for his mommy while bleeding out on the floor of that little stage like the little bitch he was. I hope his wife and kids get fucking raped and murdered. We have a veteran openly.
Okay, so I don't really want to dox anyone because I feel like that's where we're going with this. But those are the comments that people are saying. Let's start.
Was
Yeah.
that the white dude or that white chick that said that? Because they had two people in the picture. I was confused.
I don't know. I don't want to be a part of doxing anyone. I just
No,
wanted to
so-
show what people are saying to get fired up.
Okay.
Come on, I watched the entire clip. They were just reading what somebody else put. The picture of the guy that they showed in the background, the white guy, not the two that were there.
Okay.
That's who said it. They were just reading what was said.
Oh, okay.
And that this has been reported to the FBI already, that they're going to look into this person for saying all that already.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't believe in like doxing people, and I feel like he's gonna say who he is. Like, go find him. I don't support that at all. I just wanted to show what has been said. Let me be clear with y'all. I don't support that. So, like, putting that out there, don't send me clips like that. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I don't believe in doing that. I think that this week has been a horrendous week. I'm sorry about the things that were said, but I feel like we're going in a realm that we ain't gonna be able to go back from. Skeptic, what's your thoughts on the clip that I played, and give your closing thoughts as well.
So it happens. I can show you DM after DM. I do TikTok and people will DM and say the most disgusting things. People will come online. I mean, when you do lives, when you do social media, people are very tough behind a screen. Okay. We have tough skin and it happens on both sides. Like everybody does it. People are gross. And I don't agree with this type of behavior. I don't act this way. One of the things about me when I first started TikTok, I would promote people from different platforms until I got burned pretty bad from doing that because people would like doing crazy stuff. I've had people record me and like do whole posts on stuff that I've said and stuff. So I think that it's like both sides are a problem. I think we have to be more tolerant and just be respectful. I try not to get disrespectful. I think that it's important to have discourse. I have conversations with people I disagree with on the daily. So, we have to have tolerance. And if there's one thing that I think we need to be on the lookout for is for allowing the government to take more than they should have, to have more power than we should give them. It doesn't matter who's in power. It doesn't matter right or left. The government has never had a good reputation of standing up for our rights. We, the people, have to stand for our rights. And like I said, my whole thing that I always say is don't let anyone trample on your constitutional rights. They are currently attempting and are trampling on our constitutional rights. And as a brown person, I will say to our community, Black and brown people, we are going to be the first ones to be targeted. Like, go and start looking at who normally gets the most of the repercussions of speaking out. It's us. So I think that we need to be firmly against this and stop people from promoting this. I think that the people that are trying to instigate us to hate each other are the people that benefit from this. And us people at the bottom, we're not going to benefit from this violence and this going back and forth. I've never promoted violence. I've never said that we need to go out and unalive people. And I still don't. And I will continue to say we don't need to do that. We need to vote our people in, and we need a blue wave so that we can make change in this country and stop what's currently going on.
Mia, what's your closing thoughts and what do you think about the clip?
So honestly, I am completely pivoting to something completely different. So today when I went grocery shopping, I was able to find a second generation small family farm that actually is putting out canned goods. I'm going to link it in the chat. For once, I want to talk about something positive. It's called Good Food, GOODE, and it's non-GMO, no sugar added, US grown. So we are producing our own stuff. I think everybody should check them out. They're at Target and at Walmart. And I think we should really support this small business and these small farms. These people are delivering this stuff in their own trucks, their own cars and whatnot. And for once, I want to end on a good note. So I'm going to link it in the chat. This is a small farm, second generation, family owned, going up against all of the conglomerates, canned goods, organic. I think we should all do it. And I'm going to link it in the chat and I'm going to end with that.
Oh man. A good food, please send us the Cash App since we did a promo. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
So my closing thoughts was this was a very good episode. Only thing I'm really going to speak about, I want to give a major shout out to Alex, Big Timmy on TikTok, who gave us amazing idea with everything that's happened with Charlie and the video that she put out last week, speaking about it on how she had to tell the kids and everything like that. It's very unfortunate for them to lose their father, for her to lose her husband because of political violence. He came up with the idea. We bought a star. Shout out to Doc for sending money over and everybody a part of my team that did so as well. We bought a star that we're going to donate, and I'm going to send it over to Turning Point and to her with letters from everybody, letters from everybody a part of my team. Just our condolences to her, to the family, on how Charlie really all changed our lives and made us all better people at the end of the day. Yeah, that's about it. Alex, thank you so much for the idea. Like I said to everybody, we're all going to have letters written. So if anybody wants to send anything over or have anything sent to Turning Point, you can DM me on my TikTok as well. Whatever you guys want to send, I will include it in what we're going to send over. That's what I'm just going to leave off on.
Enzo, before you close out, can you let everybody know how to find the Discord? Because people were asking, or tell them how to find you on TikTok, please.
Yeah, so everybody can follow me. My main Discord or my main TikTok is RNC Enzo. It's linked right under my name there. In the link of my bio is the link to the Discord. Everybody can join there. So if you guys have any problems with the link, just DM me and I will get you guys in there.
Thank you, Enzo. That's very nice that you're sending that to Mrs. Kirk. Kamal, what's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all was doing y'all thing. Y'all was showing how America really is. Mud slinging from both fucking sides. Hell yeah. Do I think any unity is gonna happen between the left and the right? No, not at all. You feel me? At this point, it's best to see that. Look, people gonna be divided. Just hope you don't step on people's toes. All right. Y'all go follow the new party. I got it pinned to my chat at the top. Y'all go follow them, hit the notification bell so you know when they go live. Also, they go live Monday through Thursday. You feel me? On my end, Kamal Johnson Network. Y'all go over there, hit your bird with a sub. Also hit that notification bell when you see it. Shout out to everybody that's on the panel. Y'all go follow everybody. You feel me? Shout out to Doc coming on again. Appreciate you, bro. You feel me? He usually on the man cave, but he done stepped into the new party a couple times. Also, man, Gray, feel better, man. Goddamn, you working hard, bro. I appreciate you, bro, for real, dead ass. Cause you coming on with the neck brace that they put on cats and shit. You feel me? But I see you out here, bro. Now I really do appreciate you, bro. I appreciate all y'all on the panel too. My thing about freedom of speech, I always thought that there's no such thing as freedom of fucking speech because there's always consequences with anything that you speak, no matter what. Or you could say there's freedom of speech, but then there's going to be consequences behind your words, no matter what you do. And if you work for a corporation, if your dumb ass is going to put some old racist shit, yeah, you deserve to get fired, no matter who you for. If you left, right, up, down, circle, X, square, don't really fucking matter. You saying some bigot, racist stuff on your social media, I hope you got your own business or something on the side or something. Because if you work for a company, they can your ass. like they did Jimmy Kimmel. I almost called him Jimmy Fallon. They damn near one the same to me. They, you feel me? But yeah, that's my final thoughts, man. Appreciate y'all in the chat, except for a couple of you dweebs in there. Y'all was talking that blackface shit. Y'all could eat dick with that for real. Oh, and that asked about the if I'm single. No, I'm not single, but I appreciate the lovely comments though. That made me feel kind of good. Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay, guys, for everyone watching, please hit that notification. Doc, what's your closing thoughts?
I don't have a lot of closing thoughts. Great, knock it off. This isn't going to get you 100% from the VA. We know you're faking. You put that neck brace on. You got it off of Amazon. All of these people on this panel, all of these people on the Man Cave, all of these people make content. You usually can find the names of their where to find them online underneath their picture. Man, go follow, comment, like, support them. They make this content. I think you'll enjoy it. They engage. So you should really give them a chance and hear them out. And there are a lot of them are open-minded. They may have a difference of opinion, but they're real open-minded to hear what you have to say. So you guys should check it out. Everybody have a good weekend.
Oh man, the man that's hurt, he made it. He's here. Here we go.
So yeah, as y'all can see, I got hit by a truck, and so like I was ticked off. I turned into a Republican real quick. So I will say that you can go from side to side based on what the day is. I think that the right and the left is in each person, because I feel like if you broke and you want food stamps and you need some welfare, you will turn into a Democrat. I feel like if you're rich and you're like, you know what, forget it. I want all this money to myself. I don't want to pay taxes for these people. Then you become a Republican. I've seen people do it. So I think it's in everybody, depending on what your situation may be, that may make you jump from side to side. So I think that's the yin and yang in people. But as you can see, even with a broke neck, I'm on here working hard. Like we say on the new party, always vote.
Hell yeah. Hey, Greg.
I need some of whatever they gave Greg. Whatever they gave you, Greg, I need some of that.
Hold on, Greg.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hey, Greg, what's that dollar amount to where I become a Republican? I need to figure that out, bro.
Over 400,000.
You're halfway there.
Oh, that's what you get. Tax bracket.
All right, 400K. All right, for sure.
Oh Lord.
Well, you halfway there.
Yeah, right.
You don't remember back in the day? Oh man, go ahead, Nora. I was gonna tell Kamal, Lil Wayne, and Joel Santana had a song called Black Republican. Even back in the early 2000s.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's
I remember that. I like that song. I thought that was Jay-Z.
No, Lil Wayne and Joel Santana. This was in the early 2000s.
I'll send you a playlist, Nora. We'll do this later.
Hold on. Speaking of, I'm sorry, Nora, but speaking of Jay-Z, we need to bring a Jay-Z line every episode and let Nora decode it. Because that was hilarious. Y'all brought the Jay-Z line and Nora was like, I don't know what y'all talking about. That was hilarious.
Wait, they got Gray dropping bars tonight. with the everybody got a yin and the yang. I'm done, yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh Lord. Okay, so shout out to the team. Thank you, Skeptic. Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Gray, and thank you, Mia, and everybody on the Man Cave. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to end with a Charlie Kirk quote. Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it's protected by the First Amendment. In the words of my girl Skeptic, don't let them trample on your Constitution rights. Protect free speech, protect the First Amendment. God bless and good night.